Hey guys, welcome back. In today's video, we're on episode 9 of What If Civilization Started Over. Before we begin this video, please consider liking and subscribing. It's free, it helps out a ton, and we're on the road to 50 subscribers before February 2026, as this is coming out on New Year's Eve. In the last episode, we saw the war against the Red Religion and the Yellow Religion start. We saw exploration into North America and the setup of the Vinland colony from Iceland. And we also just saw the wars and all that commence. And yeah, let's continue this video. But before we get into the war, we're going to go up to Clay as they are neutral, so is Hanover. Um, Clay's actually going to discover the Faroe Islands as they're very, very close to eventually discovering Iceland in maybe an episode or four, or like in a few episodes, not next episode, I'll just say that for sure. And before we get into this, now the third most powerful nation is in the war, so is the second and the fourth are all on the same team, while only the sixth and the first are kinda in the same team in this war. So this war is kinda starting to get one-sided, but if Canaan can pull out a few wins, we can see this change massively, as we could actually most likely see Canaan perhaps even get some colonies up over here. But I forgot to mention Greece was in the war, so let's kind of update that map real quick, or the Greek occupation zones. This is it, as Austria and Serbia, they're probably helping Montenegro out. Now, the Crimean nation, they're going to start to find themselves in a tough spot, as now Anatolia, who's been in the war, or who just they got dragged in the war, is now going to start their invasion up. As in these mountainous areas, they're going to be able to hold their own. And yeah, we're soon going to start to see them even try to start to threaten even their unoccupied lands, aka their lands that they control and have under their government. But luckily, they're going to be able to start to hold their ground. As up in northern Poland, we're going to see them continue to lose ground as they are trying to start to connect up with the Danish actually starting to support more of them in the war. And we're going to finally start to see them link up with this area. And in a desperate move, we are going to see northern Poland give this over to Denmark. In this little area over to Hanover, and the rest is just going to go under occupation as North Poland, since they only have 4 major cities and much of their population is, or actually a majority of their population, is up on this coastline. They're good for right now, but this could change if a spearhead were to be successful, as we're just going to see Austrian troops continue to roll up north as they're going to try to threaten to, their capital as they're going to get into the suburbs, or not really suburbs, as they really don't have that yet. And next, Belarusian troops are actually going to start to come in across here in the north, as they're going to be able to push them back, not being able to recapture their capital, as Belarus, though an ally in this war, doesn't really like Warsaw. And so they kind of want them to collapse. So in the negotiations, they can get much of this land up north. As we are once again now going to start to see them, or them over here, start to plummet and taking much of this area, as Warsaw is going to have to retreat up into Kaliningrad. As we are going to start to see them actually push into this nation, though technically a neutral nation, they have been in the war for a while, ever since they got invaded by the Crimean military dictatorship, as we're going to see them kind of start to do this, which is going to lead into an encirclement of thousands of Crimean troops. As if you do not know, they are fighting using guns and have been for since episode 1 or 2, I'm pretty sure. And honestly, the people with the best weapons are actually Naples, and so Naples is starting to supply most of the army and Anatolia, as we're going to start to see them basically kick them back all the way out of here, as there's no longer an advantage for them on this front, as we are finally going to see northern Poland, um, oh no, they are basically going to collapse and is now being supported by Belarus, or by Belarus. And if you want to basically say, you can say Belarus looks something like that, but they kind of don't, so yeah. Now going into Greece, they are very mountainous. As like I was saying, though they are very mountainous, they kind of have a weaker military, but still with them being mountainous, it's going to be harder for them to get invaded, as they're going to actually start to have to stick to these coastal areas. As we want to see some of the first naval battles occur, like all of this is going to fall, as Peloponnesia could fall eventually, and they are going to be fully kicked out of Montenegro, as a fully Montenegro army is going to push into them. And this is very surprising, as Montenegro may be the weakest nation on Earth. Actually, that's probably Iceland. As though Canaan, the strongest nation on Earth, they are engaging in naval battles, especially with Naples, as this is a very bloody region. And this is very, very unpopular, as areas where Naples doesn't, or where their government doesn't have as much control, we are going to see the Southern Canaan Revolution occur. And this is actually going to start to make Canaan, or move their ground troops, as their navy and ground troops are a different branch of their military, come down. But much of this region of Canaan is now going to start to get occupied from the Southern Canaan rebellion. But regions such as their Ethiopian claims should be good for a while, as they are more or so heading up north, as this major city map is probably really outdated. And this is kind of what I imagine their rebellion to look like right about now. And in a major, major battle, actually right between these two, Canaan had major control, but kind of made this supply route be a bit disruptive, as it kind of started to possibly go into a state of economic or stability decline. They're going to win a major battle, and we're going to actually see them in the purple team, since they have a naval superiority, start to do a lot of damage, as we're going to actually take Cyprus, which is a major military hotspot. In this region, Greece cannot keep up with their economic decline, basically mostly an economic decline, and so they are going to fully start to collapse from the pressures. We are going to now start to actually see, let me just, that's basically good. We're going to basically start to see most ground troops start to focus up here, as yeah, no, Austria is going to actually collapse them first, and then this is, or not that, as they are now going to start to roll into Belarus here, as Belarus's capital is going to get taken. We are going to see a third faction join this war. Kenya, Southern Arabia, and Russia are all going to get involved in this conflict. They are not in either alliance. They're not even allied to each other. They are on their own side. Besides Southern Arabia and Kenya, they're working together, and we're just going to actually start to see Russia basically stronger than them than Crimea now after their great, I guess, war collapse. You can call it that. They're just going to also start their invasion, as nothing is really stopping them besides like a few people here or there. As I'm just going to color this that color when it's most likely a majority of these people doing all the work. And once their formidable army gets about here, they're going to test known something as the equalizing. They are going to use these proto bombs, and they are going to do it to the capital. And this is going to cause them to leave the war, and we can just go down south for what I'm going to call the Canaan just entering. Canaan is now a nation in a state of collapse and facing threats from all sides. Their capital is going to fall. Canaan's is. As down here, they're going to continue to get pressured by the southern Canaan or by southern Canaan, as they're going to start to even reach up through here. As Kenya is also going to start to enter up in here. And lastly, this place, they're going to invade Arabia, as we can finally get to the treaty of this video. And yeah, let's get in this treaty. Let's start out in Russia. They're going to gain major territories all across here. They're going to gain the red team's little last fort. And this is actually going to be the only nation not affected in the war that was on the side of the Diamond Alliance or the Red Religion team. Anatolia is going to grow. They're going to get this region. We're going to see the Orange team grow, as we're going to see you be left in a weak state, as you're going to get some land. You're even going to get a lot of their land. As for me, is going to more or so collapse. The southern region of northern Poland is going to get, annexed. As so is the southern region over here, in tiny bits of Crimea. Poland's actually. Oh, let me do something. Poland, since they lost their Belarus, since they lost its northern portion, is going to get Kaliningrad. Going down over here, Montenegro is going to expand, getting a new major city. Like we said, Anatolia expanded into Greece. The red team's going to be reduced to this little nation. Now let's go down here in Asia and Africa. Naples is going to get Cyprus and bits of this northern region over here. We're going to see southern Arabia get parts of their southern Arabian portions that Canaan controlled. You're going to get like a weird thing over here. Southern Canaan's going to gain independence, and the rest is going to stay as is. And we're going to do a quick little power ranking. Number 1 is actually still Canaan. They haven't lost vital areas, just a few major cities. 2 is going to be Naples. 3 is going to be actually Austria. 4 is going to be Russia, and 5 is going to be Anatolia. Anatolia dropped 2 places. This is just because, 5. This is because now this is a threat, and so it goes like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As I didn't gain too much land. And yeah, please consider liking and subscribing. It really helps out a ton. We're on the road to 50 subscribers. Yep, please like and subscribe, and see you guys in the next one.